The traumatic cases of Robert Bell and Grady Swain, two African-American teenagers in Arkansas, vividly illustrate the profound racial injustices prevalent in the criminal justice system during the era of segregation. In 1927, Bell, age 16, and Swain, 14, were wrongfully implicated in the murder of Julius McCullum, a young white boy in Greasy Corner, Arkansas. Despite the absence of concrete evidence, the boys were subjected to brutal treatment, including whipping, to force confessions. Caught in a biased legal system, they faced all-white juries that mirrored societal racial prejudices, encapsulating their ordeals that spanned more than 7 years. During the period from 1927 to 1935, Arkansas, like much of the Jim Crow South, was deeply entrenched in racial segregation, affecting nearly every facet of public life, including education, transportation, and the legal system. African Americans were subjected to systemic discrimination, with segregated facilities and disenfranchisement through various means such as literacy tests and poll taxes. The trials of Bell and Swain in 1928 were marked by the absence of proper legal representation, with court-appointed white attorneys who provided little defense against the overwhelming racial bias. Convicted and sentenced to death after mere 20 minutes of jury deliberation, their sentences were eventually overturned, but the appeals extended their imprisonment painfully. During their retrials, the reneging of plea agreements by white officials further prolonged their suffering. The lack of independent evidence and reliance on coerced confessions underscored the flawed judicial process. Despite the systemic barriers, the resilience and resistance of African Americans in Arkansas during this era laid the groundwork for the civil rights movement, which would later seek to rectify such deep societal injustices. The NAACP played a critical role in supporting Robert Bell and Grady Swain by providing legal assistance, raising public awareness, and advocating for their fair treatment. They galvanized public support through press releases and campaigns, challenging the entrenched prejudices in the justice system. These efforts were instrumental in highlighting and resisting the systemic racial biases of the time. The ordeals faced by Bell and Swain share grim parallels with other cases like the Scottsboro Boys, the Groveland Four, and the tragic story of Emmett Till, further emphasizing the severe racial injustices faced by African Americans during the Jim Crow era. These historic injustices serve as potent reminders of the long and arduous struggle for equal justice under the law.